I have a bit of a different one today. We're going to be doing my first ever speed build. So once again, this is a build for my save file, just like everything that I do on this channel is for my save file. This is as well. This is for a member of the Boudreaux family. If you're new to my channel, I'm making a save file. It has a lot of lore, a lot of realism, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. And all the Sims kind of have different storylines, and the Boudreaux are this like really rich family. They're the founders of Willow Creek. The current heir of the estate has a brother. He's a spare. So this is his home. He is not inheriting the estate, but he did marry this woman, Arlo and Rune's mother, if you have been watching my lore videos. If you haven't, all you really need to worry about is this is a fancy, rich Victorian home for a fancy, rich family where there's a husband and a wife, and they are about to have a baby. The wife is going to be pregnant. It's a little bit of drama, though, because the wife has a previous family. She has two, like, almost fully grown kids. She is a young adult and a teen that she has raised. She had them pretty young, and so it's interesting. She's almost like starting her life over. She married rich, you know, because he's got a lot more money than she's used to. She came from a pretty poor background, so it's almost like the starting over for her, which is interesting. I thought that that's an interesting dynamic, an interesting storyline. This house gave me so much trouble, as you can tell. We're kind of doing this commentary in one take, so I'm sorry if I'm a little scattered, but I don't know why. I feel like, first of all, I build in facades. This is a great example of that concept where I'm building the entire front of the house out, and then I try and figure out the sides and the back of the house after the fact. But I also was just struggling because I really wanted this like balcony thing, but then also the roof. And the way that this stuff just works in this game, I really had to finagle with it, with like this platform. And then underneath the porch, when you looked up, it was really weird. So then I was trying to fix it. And the spandrels in this game are so incredibly glitchy. And you can see that there's like a hole in the roof now. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they did. I don't know why this game doesn't work, but it like doesn't. I mean, that's not really surprising. This is The Sims 4, but yeah, I struggled so much with this build. I'm such a slow builder. The raw footage for this is hours long, and I'm just such a slow builder, and I always kind of wondered why. And watching this back, I'm like, well, you're doing something pretty complicated when you could have just opted to do something much more simple. So I think, I don't know, after this, I'm so ready to go back to a simple home, not a Victorian, nothing super ornate, nothing super complicated. Here, I was trying to do the spandrels underneath the roof. I don't know how to do that without making a room, and I didn't want to make a room there because then it would have a floor, and I didn't want there to be just like a random floor. I just wanted the spandrel part. So much stuff in this game that like I don't really notice building like a normal, just like average 2-story in Foundry Cove, but suddenly when I'm building like an ornate Victorian, I'm like, why is this a thing? And I can't understand how to work around it. I feel like I see people kind of work around this stuff all the time. I haven't figured it out yet. One day I will figure out how to build in this game. I didn't cut anything out of this video either. I wanted you to be able to see the entire process. I know personally, I see that builders cut out like indecision in their speed builds a lot, which I totally understand because the footage for this had to be sped up really quickly. So I'm sorry if it makes you dizzy at all. It had to be sped up really quickly to make it a reasonable length. But I really wanted to keep all of the indecision in because I know personally when I'm building and I'm watching other people build, it kind of seems like they kind of just come up with stuff super easy, and that is certainly not the case for me. I am super indecisive. I basically do an entire living room and then change the entire like vibes of it, and I just want you to be able to see my thought process and how I get to where I get, because it's definitely not a very one and done, I made a decision and then it boom, 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 worked out perfect. A lot of it is kind of trial and error for me in this building process, which is part of the reason I think I'm such a slow builder, which it's not a problem that I'm a slow builder. However, I'm making an entire save file, so it's a little bit of a problem that I'm a slow builder. I wish it was just like a little bit quicker. I don't know. I think it would make my life and my quality of life just like a little bit better. Some other stuff about these Sims. I think they met at work. He is pretty high up in his career. I'm not exactly sure what the career is. It's something like business or something, I don't know, something like that. And she's in the same career, and that's how they met. So they both have an office in this home, because I imagine that they would work from home pretty frequently, because once you're in a cushy job, you get more luxuries like that. And I also think that she is, I don't know her personality fully, but I think that she's pretty just excited about her new life as a mother, and there's a bit of a disconnect between her and her kids, where her kids are like, hey, what the heck? And she's like, I'm so excited, why aren't you excited for me, you know? And he has not had a family before this, so he's excited to just kind of start a family. He's a little bit of a late bloomer in his life. His sister is like this super mega successful heir to the estate, and he just, by order of birth, missed out on that, I guess. I don't really know how I want to decide the Bedreau family decide their heirs. I think it's just firstborn. I'm not doing any gender stuff or anything like that, because the current heir is a female, but I think that it's probably just order of birth, because they are a very traditional family, and they would have some kind of traditional mechanism. This weirdness, this platform on the inside, is because to do the balcony on the outside without it clipping into the fence, I had to raise it on a platform. So then on the inside, the door was floating, and I also put it on a platform. I hope that it's like quirky and like fun and adds character to the build instead of just making it really odd and weird. But I don't know, I did my best just to make a weird Victorian home with some quirks that's also like cute and fun and makes sense. Obviously, I wasn't following any kind of specific inspiration for this photo. I was looking at a front photo of a home, but I wasn't looking at a floor plan. I wasn't looking at the other sides of the home at all. I literally was just kind of making it up as I go. I'm kind of surprised that the other sides of the house turned out so well. Just because, like I said, I was making it up. Like, I was following a photo for the front of it and the general vibes, and then I just kind of went with it for the rest. It's a white home. I know, I have a problem. I only make white homes in this game, but it's got some green accents, so everyone will be proud of me for that. And I used some vampires in there as well, with that vampire's door with the stained glass. So beautiful. Anyways, I want to diverge from talking about the build a little bit. So much has happened. I haven't uploaded in like 9 days, or maybe more by the time this gets uploaded. By the time I'm recording this, it's been 9 or 10 days. I'm so sorry. I went on vacation, and I felt like I was gonna rush myself, or felt like I also just really wanted to relax and not stress about this channel while I was on vacation. And I didn't announce it or anything, because I don't really think people care that much if I haven't uploaded in a few days. But you may have noticed it's been a couple days. That's because I was on vacation. I had a lot of fun. I went to the beach. It was so nice to just like not work. I work full time, as I probably have talked about ad nauseum on this channel. And I work on this channel pretty much any waking moment that I'm not at work, or like doing like admin stuff like cleaning my house or making food. If I wasn't enjoying it, I wouldn't do it. So nobody leave any comments about relax, don't stress yourself out, whatever. I know, I'm aware, I have so much fun with this channel. It's an outlet for me. I did something kind of different with this landscaping, to jump back to the build really quick. I did color. I never do color with my landscaping. I don't know why, but I really like these orange and purple flowers together, and so I was trying to do something kind of interesting to contrast with like the green and the white of the home. I don't know, I think it looks nice. I have a lot to learn with landscaping. I think it's one of my weaker spots. I only really know how to just like jam pack as many plants in there as possible. And I don't know if that's necessarily good landscaping, but it's the only kind of landscaping I know how to do. So that's what I did in this build. But I don't know that it's necessarily good, but it's what I did. So I think it looks nice, but I see people do a lot less and it works a lot more, if that makes any sense. So I have a lot to learn and I have a lot to practice with landscaping. I simply need landscaping practice. To go back to my personal life stuff. But yeah, I wanted my trip to be a real kind of forcible do nothing trip, and it really was. I did a bunch of nothing. I I like sat on the beach a bit. I hung out with my friends. It was really nice. I got this stuffed elephant named Smudge. He's not in the room with me. He's not here with me right now. He's in my bedroom right now. But I'm emotionally attached to Smudge so much. I brought him home and introduced him to my cat and told my cat that he had to be nice to Smudge. And I was upset that so much happened while I was gone. Honestly, Life by You got canceled. And Love Struck expansion pack trailer dropped. And also leaks. I really wanted to make a video talking about all this stuff. I don't know that I ever want to make like a trailer reaction. I don't know that I have like that much I'm lying to you. I have that much to say. I feel like I'm kind of negative about The Sims 4, and I don't want to be uploading like entire videos where I'm just being really negative about the game, because I know other people are really excited and I feel bad that other people are excited and I'm kind of like not excited. So I'm going to keep this really tame, but my love struck thoughts are: I'm excited about the world. We were right. It takes place in a city. I'm so excited about that. We're going to start with the things that I'm positive about. I'm excited about the city. I'm excited about the world. I hope it's not super empty. It takes place in Mexico, I believe. So that's really cool, because everybody in the comments, when I talked about this in my last build video where I talked about the expansion, people were like, it's going to take place in Italy. It's going to take place in Italy or Greece. And I was sitting there thinking like, but we have Tartosa. It would be stupid of them to do two Tartosa-like worlds and have the same like concept of the expansion pack. It's like a little bit too like separated for them even. Like normally the Sims team kind of drags things out as much as possible and do as many expansion packs as possible, but I think the community would have so much outrage if it literally took the the game pack, My Wedding Stories, and then just made an entire expansion pack on the same exact concept of like love in the same exact type of world. Like, I don't know. I think people would lose their minds about that. People are already mad about this, which I completely agree. I understand. I don't want to be too negative. It seems like the main features are like a dating app, which mods do probably better, because mods genuinely do everything better. Before you tell me to play a different game, like what game? Like what other life sim game can I play? Please direct me in that way, because I would love to check it out. I genuinely am so invested in the other life sim games, which is why I want to talk about Life by You being canceled. I literally was planning a video on a comprehensive guide to all of the life sims on the market or currently on the market right now. And then literally the day after I started planning that video, Life by You got canceled, and I was so mad because I was really actually very excited about Life by You, because it's made by the same people who did City Skylines, and so I thought it actually had like a fighting chance. Nope, it's gone and it's dead, but I'm skipping ahead. We'll talk about that in a second. Love Struck, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it adds much. Like it adds kissing, a bunch of different kissing interactions, a dating app. That's cool. I'm glad, because so many people wanted a dating app, so I'm really happy for my commenters who wanted a dating app. I think I'm more happy for you guys than I am about the game or like myself playing the game. This foyer, to jump to the build really quick, I'm so sorry. Struggle. Oh my god. I was going for like old money. I was looking at this reference on Pinterest that I really loved, but I couldn't quite get down without using like a ton of CC. And then the curtains on this curved wall were giving me a bit of hell. I end up completely changing up the vibes in here. I went a little bit more of the style that I go for in the Boudreaux estate. I'll put some photos of the Boudreaux estate on screen, some sneak peeks, because I'm also going to do a video furnishing that video, or that home. But I kind of went in like a darker academia direction after I walked away from this build for my entire vacation, came back and began furnishing it again after my vacation. I think stepping away from it really helped. I realized it was just too light for me to simultaneously do the traditional old money thing and also like the style. I think I run into that problem where I have troubles with furnishing or building or creating things in a style accurately if I don't like it. If I don't like how it looks aesthetically, if it's not my style, I really struggle to keep it in my build or in my save because I want everything to be reflective of like things that I like. Which isn't real life. In real life, you know, people live in those contemporary farm homes with the metal roofs and the white siding that I wish that I could pretend don't exist. In my save file, I guarantee you I'm never going to build one of those because I hate those so fervently. Am I using that word right? Probably not. That I don't think I'll ever build one. But I throw up in my mouth a little bit every single time I see one of those. Also, jumping to the build again. Anytime I was struggling with a rug in this build, I just started layering rugs and that solved everything. I'm going to use that trick so much more, layering multiple rugs to get kind of different style rugs. It helped me to not use custom content as much while still making what I want to happen. So yeah, I'm going really light in this living room and I'm going very traditional. I'm referencing an image and I think it looks good in the image, but we don't have like good wallpaper for it. I also do use some custom content wallpaper in the end that really ties everything together. Things were really not working, and then I got out some custom content wallpaper. I'll point it out to you when we get there, and then everything kind of started to come together a little bit. We got the bare bones of like the where everything is and like the majority of the colors done, but it was all just a little bit light. For me to enjoy. I wanted to lean more dark academia before I started to personally be like, this looks nice. I would like this house. So, anyways, love struck, what I was talking about. It looks like a bunch of kissing interactions, couple new woohoo spots. The dying of heartbreak interaction, the animation is the same. I immediately noticed it's the same as that dying of laughter one. Just they added tears, but she's smiling. If you play the trailer back, I'm sorry, I'm probably like ruining everyone's excitement. I feel like such a Debbie Downer. I'm so sorry. If you're excited about the pack, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for all my commenters who were like wanting certain things and then we got certain things. Like literally, like I was watching the trailer and I was like, oh, like those people will be happy because we have a dating app. Like, I'm excited for them. Like, that was my first thought. My first thought was not like, I'm so excited. My first thought was like literally thinking about you guys and being like, well, people really wanted this. So I'm excited for like my console players who are like complaining that they want a dating app, but they can't use any mods for dating apps. So anyways, the dying by heartbreak animation is the same as the dying by hysteria. It's just they added some tears and called it a day. That kind of bummed me out to see that they couldn't even do like another dying animation. The dancing animations, I'm so sorry, but I laughed out loud. I think it's meant to be silly, so maybe that's what they're going for. I'm a silly little guy too, like it's whatever, but it was a bit much for me. I had to look away from my screen because it was just so much cringe. But I think that's kind of fun, maybe. I don't know. I might have to see it in my own game on my own Sims before I decide about that completely. What else? The penthouse, fun. I will not complain. I know some people were saying like, oh, this is just city living part 2, which we have for rent, so it's actually like city living part 3. But I don't mind that it's a city world. I wanted a city world. I'm very excited about that. Is it a bummer that city living came out and it was kind of the whole premise of the pack was that it's a city and now they're making other cities? I mean, yeah, I guess I could see why you would have a problem with that. this is where I jump in and I start playing around with other wallpapers, and I end up settling on a custom content wallpaper that makes the whole build come together, and everything comes really easily after that. I promise after this, everything goes so much more quick because I just got it and I figured it out. I figured the vibes out. But yeah, I think that with Love Struck, I like that it's like a city world. I'm not mad about that. I wish that they would include that in more expansion packs. I'm a little bit skeptical of this whole planning the date system. To me, it sounds like my wedding stories part 2, planning a wedding part 2. It's just gonna break in my brain. That's what I'm setting myself up for. I'm probably like being a little bit too pessimistic, but I'm not being too pessimistic because this is how things have been running. Like my wedding stories were so broken, For Rent was so broken and still is so broken, and now we're getting another expansion pack. Like the last one doesn't work. I don't know. It's okay though. Like I'm saying all this, I'm not like mad. This is the wallpaper that brings everything together, by the way. This like floral with the birds and yeah, I love this wallpaper. It's a custom content wallpaper. I'll put the creator on the screen. This wallpaper made everything come together. It's, I believe, I'm not going to say who I believe is by in case I'm wrong. So I'll actually shut up and just take a sip of my tea because I'm probably wrong. And then I also changed the floors to look older, which I thought added to the vibes. Excited for everyone who's excited. I'm not excited. But I am excited for new things. I think that it's always an exciting time in the Sims community when new things are happening. So I think I'm mainly excited for that. I'm excited that there's going to be so many videos, so many people talking about things, so much discussion. I have so much fun discussing these things. Like, I'm really excited to post this and get your guys' thoughts on the expansion. Like, and I'm also sorry that I'm so negative, but if you are feeling more positive about it, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Like, genuinely, I would love to hear your thoughts, because I think that for me at this point in my experience with The Sims 4 and how I feel about it, the most exciting stuff for me when I see new stuff happening isn't the new stuff, but is about like kind of the community things that happen after, and how we talk, and how modders make things, and how, you know, custom content creators make custom content, and we all kind of just regather around, you know, with EA releasing something, whether that's, you know, for better or for worse, for us shitting on the company or being like, hey, this is actually kind of fun. So I think that the community is probably the best part of this game, and therefore also the best part of the newer releases. I'm kind of bouncing all around here, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit hard to follow or if it's making you dizzy at all, but I'm just bouncing around, kind of adding little pieces of clutter back into previously finished rooms where I can, and this front room is kind of starting to come together a little bit slowly. I was really proud of the kind of way that I made this look like the Bedreau home, but like different. I think I made it look a little bit different. The Bedreau home is more like greens and cool tones, and there's a lot of greens in this too, but I was going for like the same vibes, but just like different flavor, and I'm hoping that I'm achieving that. I think I am. And I did this little mirror wall. This was inspired by a photo I saw on Pinterest. I was also watching this is so random to talk about. I've been watching a lot of Anthony Fantino recently. I don't know why, because I don't listen to that much new music. I love music so much, but I'm like a bad discoverer of new music. I like don't know many artists. I have to be told, like, by my partner, like, listen to this, and then I like it, and then I'm like, oh my god, I love this, and he's like, told you, idiot. He doesn't call me an idiot, I call myself an idiot. So, I was watching Anthony Fantino talk about Taylor Swift's last album when I was making that mirror wall. What else did I want to say? Life by You canceled. I'm devastated. I was so excited about Life by You. I haven't been following any of the life simulators in the market very closely. I wanted to do a video, like I said, going over it all because I'm mainly in the dark, and so I thought it would be also kind of fun for me to kind of catch up and see. I changed it to this wallpaper, so the stripy wallpaper. Look at how good it looks now. Like, this wallpaper is just so goated. Like, it's such a good wallpaper. I want it in my real house. But I think like a dark wallpaper would make this room look really small. If you're wondering why I have like plain white walls, this is a studio I paint in here, and so I have to do white or else it'll kind of contrast with the art that I'm making. But I love colored walls. I love pattern. Oh my gosh, so pretty. But anyways, Life by You got canceled. I was devastated. I wasn't really expecting it because they had an early access release date. It was meant to go early access this month. Granted, it got pushed, which was like obviously a red flag, but for Paradox Interactive, which if you're just a simmer and you're not around in like the other gaming community, to give you some background if you don't know, is a reputable gaming company. They made City Skylines, which destroyed SimCity. SimCity was originally the only city building franchise. So The Sims kind of had this chokehold on the simulation game franchise, both in life simulation and city building simulation. Their last release, SimCity 4, which you may be really familiar with the story, like Plumbella talks about this, and like and a lot of creators actually talk about this in relation to like Project Renee and like why The Sims 4 was this Project Olympus, I believe, where it was like this meant to be online and then it got scrapped. Like that whole lore, if you're unfamiliar, I'll try and give a really quick TLDR. Basically, City Skylines killed The Sims 4, the SimCity 4, because SimCity 4 was like this online multiplayer game, and it just was like a commercial flop. Like it did really bad because it was a online game. Partially, it had some really bad restraints. You were only given like one little plot of land to build your like city on. I don't know, I played the hell out of the game and it wasn't very good. I played City Skylines a couple years after SimCity 4, and it was what I wanted SimCity to be. I never played any previous SimCity games, but Paradox Interactive and the developers that originally made City Skylines were like, what if we took all the good things about the SimCity franchise and then we just made it better? And then they made a game that killed SimCity 4. Then the Sims team scratches their idea with The Sims 4, which Sims 4, as we know, the basis of it was meant to be an online multiplayer game. Then they changed it to what it is present day. We know this, it's literally in the code. This is not a conspiracy. Literally modders found it in the code. And also it was leaked by like a dev or asset maker. He made stuff for the game and he posted it on his website, and it's assets from Willow Creek. He's like, scrapped project, blah blah blah, and then it literally is just stuff that got put into this game in Willow Creek. But anyways, besides the point, I am surprised that Life by You got canceled just because of how much of a commercial success, you know, City Skylines 1 was. City Skylines 2 was kind of a failure, and I think that's why they canceled Life by You. I have City Skylines 2. I played it a little bit. My wonderful partner bought it for me, and I like the game. I wanted it really bad. I still want to learn how to play it more. I think that it's just slightly different from City Skylines 1 in a way that was a bit difficult for me to get into. Plus, it just like doesn't run very well, is mainly people's complaints. And I have like a great PC, right? Like my PC can do almost whatever it wants. I don't play like Cyberpunk or anything like that, but I play like pretty hefty games on this PC with minimal issue. Like, City Skylines has some performance problems, which everyone kind of noticed. It was this big hubbub amongst the release of it, and then it just like was kind of a flop. And I think that's why they kind of had to rethink Life by You. I think Life by You wasn't doing as well as they wanted it to be. Obviously, like, its reception was kind of bad, and my understanding is that people thought it was ugly. I didn't like it aesthetically, but I don't like any of the current life sims on the market aesthetically very much. Like, I think Paralives is very beautiful, but I don't think I would like at this current point in time, and who knows, maybe it'll come out and I'll be so into it. Knock on wood, it comes out at this point, honestly. I just don't see myself like getting super enthralled in like making Sims and stuff in it. And who knows, maybe if it's like moddable, you're able to kind of make things look aesthetically different, I'd be into that. I love modding my games, as we know. But my thoughts about Life by You were like, oh well, if you can just mod it to make it prettier, or that they're just not that far in the process, they'll probably change some stuff as time goes on. That's kind of how I was thinking about it. But as said, I wasn't following any of these super closely. I was just kind of going with the flow, and I assumed that Life by You would be the license to make it just because it was made by Paradox Interactive. To me, that was like the most reputable one. I know there's some weirdness about Paralives and how people at first thought that they weren't legit, but now they're kind of the most transparent, I believe, out of all the life sims. I don't know because I haven't kept up super well, but let me know if you'd still be interested in a video like that where I just go over every life sim on the market, because I'd definitely be interested to learn more myself. I don't know that I want to become like a Sims drama channel, you know, but I do have interest in other life simulators. I would love to play other life simulators on this channel, and I don't want like this channel to be lost when The Sims 4 is lost. Does that make sense? Because like I'm so proud and happy with this channel. I don't want this to just be like a Sims 4 channel and then The Sims 4 kind of dies and so my channel dies. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to kind of make this a little bit more of a flexible space, but that's a little bit hard to do when you're just uploading Sims 4 videos. So I thought maybe I could go over some Life by You, Paralives, Viva Len, Inzo shenanigans. I'm not really super hyped on any of them, if I'm being entirely honest, but I have to be hopeful that any kind of competition to The Sims 4 is like good and will lead at least the Sims team in the right direction with Project Renee. Not The Sims 5, not The Sims 5 Max. I don't believe it. It's literally The Sims 5. I don't know why they're so insistent about that. But I did have one last thing to talk about. I am really excited. I bought some Images of America books to learn more for my save file, specifically like images of homes. Like, look at this Victorian home right there. Like, what the heck? I ordered like a bunch of them from like all over the PNW, and so I'm gonna read a bunch of those, and I'm getting really excited about learning and researching more for my save file. I think that it's really difficult because all the Images of America books, I believe, are all like written by different people or like compiled by different people, I guess, and then the blurbs are written by those people. So the slant that it all has is kind of different just depending on which book you pick up. And a lot of the history, obviously, like when you're getting into American history, it gets really icky, for lack of a better word. I was gonna say the word complicated, but it's not complicated at all. It's actually really just icky and like simple icky. I guess what I mean by trying to say complicated is it's complicated to sort out the kind of what's being said versus what actually happened in some of these sources. Like, I love the Images of America books because they have images, you know, and I'm such a visual person, and I'm referencing a lot of these images for my builds, but some of the ways that they characterize certain stuff that happened, I'm obviously not a big fan of, because I feel like it's not what happened. LOL. Not to get super, like, into colonialism in my Sims 4 speed build, but I think that it's just something I'm keeping in mind when I'm researching for the save file. I especially was thinking about it when I was reading these books and kind of researching more, and I wanted to do a video kind of like going over some of these books and like looking at the images and kind of how I would transfer that into the game. And then the more that I kind of read some of the books, I was like, I would definitely have to talk about this on my channel and how like this isn't an actually good representation of some of the things that were happening. And it's weird because it's different book to book. Like, some books handle it really well, and some of the books in the same series are kind of handle it not so well and really gloss over it. So let me know thoughts on if you would like to see a video like that where I'm going over more historical inspiration that I'm using for the save file, and it's a little bit more focused on like the research side of it rather than like the executing it in The Sims. I feel like that's a bit of a departure from like the Sims 4 building thing on this channel. I talk about the inspiration in my videos, but I don't know, maybe showing the research process is a little bit too off topic. I don't know. Okay, so another outfit change, day change as well. I'm just finishing up the speed build so we can talk about it a little bit more now that I have more of it done. I'm working on the nursery right now, and I was kind of going for the same kind of traditional feeling. I think I decided that it's girl and they know it's a girl, so I went really all out with like kind of traditional florals, pinks, that whole thing. I had a lot of fun with it. There's this cottage living shelf with this chicken on it that I thought was so cute that I end up putting in this build. I mainly just wanted to get the build done with at this point. The other room in the upstairs, I was gonna do 2 offices in this build originally. I kind of figured that, you know, they met at work, they're business related people. That's a very eloquent way of saying that. But they met at work. They're very high up in their career. They probably have home offices. But then I thought about it more and I was like, well, just for the sake of like gameplay, I think it made more sense to add in more activities. So I did a home gym in this room next to the nursery where I did a yoga mat, I did TV, and a what's that called? The runny thingy? Treadmill. I did a treadmill as well. So you have a little bit more just options in the save for just stuff to do. I want maximum stuff to do on every lot. That's a big priority for me. So a lot of times if I'm stuck on what to do with space, I'm like, okay, what like gameplay objects can I actually put in here? Same with like outside, I put some gameplay objects. I ended up culling it back. I do eventually like a couple garden boxes and then I got rid of them because I was just like, neither of these people would garden. I don't think they're too busy with other parts of their lives. I also just want to say that some more stuff about how people feel about Love Struck has kind of come out. I haven't kept up with any of it, but my part where I was talking about the Love Struck stuff was recorded a couple days ago. It was more of my initial reactions to it. So if there's anything I missed in like the community reaction, that's why. It's a few days old. I take so long to, and this is like one of the bigger houses that I've built. I am not looking forward to how long my speed build will be for furnishing the Boudreaux house, like the big Boudreaux estate. I have this mansion that I'm working on right now. I did a build video for the shell of it, if you want to watch that. It is huge, it's giant, and I've been slowly furnishing it bit by bit, like a little bit a day. I mean, at least I'm planning on doing a speed furnish. Who knows? Maybe I'll scrap it all. Maybe it'll come out way later. I kind of try and balance things to, you know, gameplay, build, chatty, you know, lore, gameplay, build, chatty, lore, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But I know that people are really here for the lore and the save file stuff. I have this Watson legacy that I've been playing for like years and years now. And I did like a little mini series with them on this channel, kind of playing out these 2 Sims getting married. So much drama has happened in that save. I've been playing it on my very limited spare time with the Sims, because usually if I'm playing Sims, I'm recording, obviously. And holy shit, it's actually so much. I want to do an update video with you guys somewhat soon to kind of give you like a current household of sorts, because it's so much drama. I think you guys would love it. So that's gonna definitely come back soon. So people who originally were here for the Watsons, don't worry, they're coming back. They're gonna be back on my channel. I'll probably do another mini series with them at some point. They're like my favorite Sims on the planet. I think it's so funny that the Sims that you always attach to are never the Sims that you make with the intention of like, this is going to be my legacy. The Watson family started as I just made a Sim to play with on stream one day. I was like, oh, they added it was when they added that afro hair. The original afro hair was so bad, and it came out that it was modeled after cauliflower, and there was a big controversy about it, and then they actually updated it to be like better. And when that update dropped, I was like, oh, I should just make a sim and I'll put this hair on her since it's new. And then I launched the game and played it. And then here I am years later, and I'm still playing with all the sims that are from her lineage and her drum. So it's always silly how that stuff works. Some other stuff that I kind of wanted to talk about was, oh, and here is my stuffed animal. Smudge is his name. This is the stuffed elephant I was talking about earlier. He is my heart and my soul. I've kind of reverted back to being like a little bit of a child after receiving him. My best friend actually bought him for me, and I don't know why. I'm emotionally attached to this stuffed animal. I'm like a full-grown adult, and I'm like, but my elephant Smudge, he is so perfect and important to me. Oh, something else to report on in the speed build. I don't know how many people here are into the band Ghost. I don't know how many guesties I have on my channel, but I've had a few comments about people being like, oh, you're wearing a Ghost shirt. I love Ghost, whatever. I saw the movie, and it was so camp, but there weren't enough ghouls. There was not enough ghoul footage. It was all Papa, which is like fine, whatever. But like, I wanted more ghoul moments. For those of you who don't know, I've like mentioned it once, and yeah, I don't know, maybe you don't care, but I was at that concert in LA. Like, we flew to LA to see that concert because we thought some kind of lore was gonna happen. Kind of right, because it came out in the form of a movie, but still, we were at that concert, so it's really weird to see like a concert movie for a show that you've been to. I've never had that experience before, because I've also never gone to a show in LA before, and it was really weird. It was almost like being there, because it was all this stuff that I remember and all these shots of things that I remember happening. Like, I was in the room for that. It's very interesting. We didn't have the best seats, so seeing the movie was definitely a cool opportunity to see POVs of the stage that I didn't get to see in person, because also the Kia Form doesn't have like TV screens to like see the camera footage, or at least at that show it didn't. Maybe it does at other shows, and so I definitely felt like I got kind of a different POV of the whole thing, which was a lot of fun, and I'm very excited for whatever the bonus content is coming out next. I don't know. I'm like kind of in the lore, but kind of not, so, but I'm wrapping up on this build, so we're gonna jump into a little walkthrough. Alright, so to give a little overview walkthrough of the speed build today, this is the exterior, the front. I think it turned out really good, despite how weird it kind of was. But when you walk into the home, I was going for like old money, kind of dark academia. You kind of walk in. Once again, can't do anything about that. I wish I could, but it's a round room and the game is horrible. This cute little sitting area with the books, grand clock. I love using clocks in this game. You go to the left. This is the living room. There's a fireplace. And there's no TV. I don't like TVs in this game. I think I've kind of mentioned that before, that I'm not the biggest fan, so I don't include them in a lot of my builds. There is a TV in this build, but it's in the gym, actually. We'll get to that when we go upstairs. If you go through the hallway, the first door on the left is this, which is an office. They kind of met through work, and so I think they'd have a dedicated like home office and a chess table, so we got some skill building items. Right across the way, this is the bathroom in the bottom floor. I like the green. I love this toilet. I never use it, but I thought maybe this was a rich enough family that I could kind of get away with it. This is the laundry slash water heater room, so I kind of combined them both into one. I thought that worked. I try to do light switches everywhere, and also like radiators in the appropriate rooms. This is the dining. Once again, this wallpaper tied everything together. I don't think it really was working before that. I love these mirrors. This mirror wall I still think is like one of my favorite parts of the build. Nook for walking out back. This room, I don't know. I feel like I could probably do more with it, but I'm just kind of meh. I don't know what I would really add. To go upstairs. So you come upstairs, there's an entrance to this back porch out here, which I need to paint the inside of that, so I'll do that. All the little details that I miss in my builds. Another grandfather clock. You walk into this room. This is a home gym. This is where the TV is, so you can have your Sims, if you wanted to play with this family, you can have them do like the little workouts on the TV, because I love those. I think those are so cute. There's also music, yoga mat, I think that the husband is really into fitness, but I also think that maybe the wife is getting really into like yoga. Here's the nursery. They are pregnant, baby on the way. No baby yet, but baby on the way. I thought that shelf was so cute. I believe that's from Cottage Living. I used quite a bit of CC in here. I used this at CC, and maybe actually that's the only piece of CC I used in this, other than the wallpaper. I used wallpaper, CC, all throughout this build. Otherwise, it just like really was not coming together. It really saved my ass. Here is the upstairs. Whoa, what is going on there? The upstairs bathroom, little cabinet for some stuff. I love these towel racks in more expensive homes. I think it really works. And you go through the hallway. There's this cute little book nook. You go up the stairs. There's this cute little sitting area by the windows. And if you go outside, it's the front porch. There's another little sitting area. You can look at the neighbors when I eventually get to building everything. To the master bedroom. I went for this kind of green and purple vibe. I thought it was really cute, and I thought that I left some good hints about our bathroom. I always love small bathrooms and adding like a little table for some clutter. I think it's just realistic that if you had a small bathroom with no counter surface, you would have a table. Outside, out back, we got a grill, little wedding arch here, mainly just for decor, but I guess you could do like a backyard wedding, little fireplace, and here's kind of the run around of the whole house. At night, I put some kind of lights around, which I also kind of forget to do the lights thing because my house doesn't have lights around the outside. That's kind of like a fancy people thing to me, at least, so I always forget that it exists. But yeah, that is the speed build, so thank you guys for watching. I know this was a more rambly one.